Hi guys, today we are going to learn how to solve the next problem of liquidation of companies. So let's read the problem first. So this is the problem. The ABC Limited went into voluntary liquidation on 31st of March 2020 when its balance sheet was as under. So on the liability sides, we have share capital. Under share capital, we have 5% preference shares and equity shares, 6% debentures, and on 6% debentures, we have a floating charge. And what does floating charge mean? I will explain when we will post this item in the payment side. Okay, and the last is sundry creditors, and on the asset side we have plant and machinery, stock, debtors, cash at bank, and profit and loss. And there are 5 adjustments given. So the first is the liquidator realized the assets as follows: plant and machinery, stock, and debtors. The second adjustment is on the liquidation expenses. Third is on the liquidator's remuneration. Okay, so the first part of this is that the liquidator's remuneration was fixed at 2% on the sales proceeds, and the second part is that the 2% was on the amount which was distributed to the unsecured creditors. Okay, fourth adjustment is sundry creditors include preferential creditors 5,000, and the fifth adjustment is preference share dividend was paid up to 31st March 2018, and liquidator made all the payments on 1st October 2020. That means the preference share dividend is in arrears for 2 years, from 1st April 2019 to 31st of March 2020. We have to prepare the liquidator's final statement of account. For that, let's prepare the format first. Okay, so this is the format. We have on the left hand side the receipts, and on the right hand side we have payments. On the receipts, it's just the cash at bank and the amount which are realized on the sale of assets. And on the payments, we have the same format as we have done in the previous sum, except some changes are there. So first, let's solve the receipt side first. So on the receipt side, first is cash at bank. So cash at bank, we have uh, 52,000. So cash at bank will write 52,000. Okay, and the second is the amount realized on the sale of assets. In the previous sum, assets realized value was directly given in the balance sheet, but in this sum it's given individually. So what we will do is, in the receipt and payment account, we will put individually the amount of the assets, and we will not write the amounts which are given in the balance sheet, but we will write the amount which are given in the adjustments. Okay, so first is plant and machinery. So here it is given, liquidator realized the assets as follows: plant and machinery for 2 lakhs. So we'll write in the inner side 2 lakhs. Second is stock. Stock was realized for 80,000. So we'll write 80,000. And debtors was realized for 1 lakh. Okay. Now we have to total these. So the total of the amount realized on the sale of asset is 3 lakhs 80,000. You can see. Okay. So the receipt side is only this much. Now we will go to the payment side. So first we write the legal charges. In this question, since the legal charges are not given, we will write nil, or we'll just put a dash over there. Now after legal charges, we have the liquidator's remuneration. Now in liquidator's remuneration, what we are supposed to do, we'll read the adjustment. In the adjustment, it is given that the liquidator's remuneration was fixed at 2% on the sales proceed. The first part of this is 2% on the sales proceed. What does that mean? That 2% was fixed at, it's nothing but the assets realized. So we will write 2% on the assets realized. So for calculating that, let's make notes to account. So the first will be 2% on the assets realized. Now the assets realized amount is, as you can see, 3,80,000. So we'll write 3,80,000 into 2 divided by 100 is equals to 7,600. Means we have to calculate 2% on the assets realized, and therefore the amount is 7,600. So this is the first part of the question. So we have written in the inner side 7,600. Now the second part of the adjustment says that 2% was on the amount which was distributed to the unsecured creditors. Now the in the question, on the liability side, sundry creditors are given 1,05,000, and you can see in the creditors it is given sundry creditors include preferential creditors of 5,000. What does that mean is, sundry creditors we have 1,05,000, preference we have 5,000. So the remaining will be the unsecured creditors, which are 1 lakh. So you know there are two types of creditors, secured and unsecured. Okay, so what we will do, we have to calculate 2% on the preferential also. Why? Because preferential creditors are given preference, but they are not secured, they are also unsecured. Okay, so therefore first we will calculate on the 2% on the preferential creditors, that is on 5,000 we will calculate 2%, which is rupees 100, and then we will calculate on the unsecured creditors. On 1 lakh we will calculate 2%, which is 2,000. Now let's paste these amounts in the on the payment side. So on preferential creditors we have 100 rupees, and on 2% on unsecured creditors we have 2,000 rupees. Therefore the total amount will be 9,700. The next thing we record on the payment side is the liquidation expenses. Now liquidation expenses are given in the adjustment, that is 3,900. The expenses of liquidation amounted to rupees 3,900. So we'll write it on the amount side, 3,900. Now since you know, after liquidation expenses we record debenture holders first, but in this case on debentures we have a floating charge. And what does floating charge mean? It means that when the floating charges are there on the assets, we record the preferential creditors first instead of the debenture holders. So as you know, in the previous sum we have recorded debenture holders after liquidation expenses, but in this sum, since floating charge is given on the debentures, preferential creditors will be recorded first and then the debenture holders will be recorded. Okay, so preferential creditors are given in the adjustment of 5,000. So we'll record here 5,000. After that we have to record the debentures. Now in the balance sheet, 6% debentures principal amount is 50,000. So we'll write here 50,000, and in the adjustment as you can read that liquidator made all the payments on 1st of October 2020. We have to pay for the remaining 6 months. Okay, so that is from 1st April to 1st of October, right? April, May, June, July, August and September. So we will calculate for 6 months. Therefore the amount will be 1,500. How? 50,000 into 6 divided by how many months? We have to calculate for 6 months, and the total ones are 12. Therefore 50,000 into 6 divided by 12 is 1,500, and the total of this will go in the outer column, which is 51,500. Now we are done with the debenture holders, preferential creditors. Now the next is the unsecured creditors. We have make we have made a note of it. So the unsecured creditors is 1 lakh. Now we will just write the amount, which is 1 lakh. The last thing, which is 8% preferential shareholders, the amount is given in the liability side. So the preference shares capital is 2 lakh. So we'll write here first 2 lakhs, and the next is the arrears of dividend. Okay, so as you know, in the adjustments, the last adjustment is that preference share dividend was paid up to 31st of March 2018. So it is remaining for how many years? 2 years. How come? From 1st of April 2018 to 31st of March 2020. Therefore, 2 lakhs into 5 divided by 100, which is 10,000, and the dividend was in arrears for 2 years. Therefore, we have multiplied it by 2, and then it has come to 20,000. Now we will take this amount and paste it under capital, which is 20,000, and in the outer column it will come 2,20,000. Now, so at the last we are just remaining with the equity shareholders. Okay, so we have pasted all the items from the adjustment and all the items from the balance sheet. We are just left with the equity shareholders. Okay, so for that, okay, why do we Okay, why do we record equity shareholders at the last? Because preference shareholders and other shareholders get a preference, and equity shareholders are unsecured and they don't get a preference. We record them at the last. So for calculating how much amount will equity shareholders get, we have to total the receipt side, and the total will be 52,000 plus 3,80,000 is 4,32,000. Now, from 4,32,000, that is the total of the receipt side, we will deduct all the payments. After deducting all the payments, we will get the equity shareholders amount, which will be 41,900, and the total of all the payments will be same as of the receipt side, which is 4,32,000. If your receipts and payments are getting tallied, means you have solved the sum correctly. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any doubts relating to liquidation, please comment below.